This is Roger with igadgetgeek, and today we're going to be taking a look at the AT&T Samsung Galaxy camera. Now this does retail for $499.99 contract free. Now there are some other options out there if you choose to add a data plan, because this is Wi-Fi and 4G enabled smart camera. Now basically this is a 16 megapixel with a 21x optical zoom, has a 23 millimeter wide zoom lens, and this takes absolutely phenomenal photos. Now I've had and used this camera for about a month now, and if you look back at some of my previous videos, a lot of them in the description state that they were shot with this camera. This is going to be my main go-to device for shooting all of my reviews and videos from this point forward. And I have to say, after using it for about a month and doing about 10 or 12 videos with it, it does a fantastic job. Now, of course, here's the box it comes in. I have the white version. On AT&T, the white is the only version available, but there are some other ways of getting different colors out there. Now, as you can see, it is an Android-powered Jelly Bean device. Now, it also has a Super HD clear LCD that measures 4.8 inches, and it is a 720 pixel display. So let's go ahead and slide this on out and take a look at what all it comes with. Now, like I said, I've had this out and been using this, so this isn't really an unboxing. I just wanted to show everybody what all it comes with. Of course, you have a nice lanyard, the camera itself. So let's go ahead and pull out all the rest of the goodies. Now, of course, you have all your warranty information, user guide, quick start guide, all of that good information there. You also have your charging block and a USB to micro USB sync and charge cable. I want to set the box and the paperwork out of the way. So as you can see, here's your cable. It is a USB to micro USB and a Samsung charging brick. Let's set that to the side, and we'll take a look at the camera itself. Of course, as you can see, it is white. There's your giant lens there with your 21x optical zoom, and it does have a number 5 xenon flash that pops up right from the side. So you have all of those standard features you would expect from most point and shoot cameras. Where this one really distinguishes itself from most point and shoot cameras is the fact that it is Android powered, has a 4-core processor, gig of RAM, and it also has 4G connectivity. Now here on the bottom is your main door. You have your slot for your micro SD card, and it will accommodate up to a 64 gig. I have a 16 gig card in there now. It has about 5 gigs built in internally. You have an HDMI out, a SIM card slot, and of course your battery. Now the HDMI slot, you do not have to open the entire door. There is a secondary door here to access the HDMI out for full mirroring of the display. And of course you have your tripod mount. On this side here you have your headphone jack, your lanyard slot, and your sync and charge port is covered with this little door. Has a nice soft touch grip right here. Now on the very top you have your main shutter button, one microphone, and your zoom in and out, your power button. On this side here you have your speakerphone. So let's go ahead and power this on, and we'll take a look around at the software. Now I went ahead and repositioned my camera to give you guys kind of a close-up view here of the software. Now of course we have the main lock screen right here, and if you slide up to unlock, it will go straight into the camera mode. But let's go right back home and let's take a look at the actual software itself. Now as I mentioned, we're going to go in here to Settings, About Device. So as you can see, it is running Android version 4.1.1, so it is running Jelly Bean. And then, like a lot of people ask me, let's go ahead, we'll go in and run the Geekbench 2 and the Quadrant Standard. We'll go into our app drawer, launch our Geekbench 2. As you can see, it is Android 4.1.1, has an ARM version 7, 1.4 gigahertz with 780 megabytes of RAM, which it does come with 1 gig. That's what it shows here because that's what's available. So let's go ahead and let it run its benchmark, and we'll have those numbers for you. Okay, as you can see, we have a score of 1780, which is a very respectable score for a quad-core processor. Let's go ahead and get that to rotate. All that real good information there. Okay, so let's go ahead and launch the Quadrant Standard, and we'll go ahead and let it run a full benchmark. Alright, we have our results here. It has a score of 5625, so there's some very good numbers. Now with this operating system, it does work in both portrait and landscape mode, and it has kind of a nice themed TouchWiz launcher. Not overly themed. You have access to a lot of really great features. Of course, you have your camera app, your gallery app, your video editor, your photo editor. Now with this being Android Jelly Bean, what you can do is actually take photos, take videos, and with the video editor, photo editor, you can edit them and upload them directly to your Dropbox. If you want to upload them directly to YouTube, Instagram, your Google+, if you want to send them through your email, you also have access to every Android app that you would on a standard Android phone or tablet. You have access on this camera. So let's go ahead and go into the camera features itself and take a look around. Now one of the really cool things that they've done here is you actually have a mode button. Now you have auto camera mode, you have smart mode, or expert mode. Now once you place it in expert mode, you actually come in here and manually fine-tune every aspect of the actual lens itself. So that's really nice, gives you a lot of excellent tweaking if you are a high-level photographer and you know how to adjust all those settings. That's great that you can do that. But for most people that are not a professional photographer or don't know about all those settings, they've kind of simplified it for you. You have these kind of smart buttons, if you will, and each one of these have a specific parameter of things. Like you have macro, and what that allows you to do is take extremely close-up shots. As you can see here, I just zoomed in on my mat, and it takes very close photos in that mode. Now also you have beauty face, best photo, continuous. Continuous is really cool. As you press and hold the shutter button, it takes 4 shots per second until you release the shutter button. You have best face. You can set that up with a group of people, take multiple photos, and pick and choose the best face for each person. You have settings for landscape, action freeze, rich tone, panoramics, and it does a wonderful job taking panoramics. I actually did some test photos and I took about 180-degree panoramic with no problems. Now if you have a tripod, there are some specialized features. You have a waterfall, so you can kind of do that water trace. It kind of overexposes the photo. Ideally with a tripod is the best way to do that. There too, with a tripod, you can do the light trace, which will give you kind of an overexposed version of the lights of automobiles. You have night shot, and then you have a setting for fireworks at night. Now you also have sunset for taking pictures directly into the sun, and then you have this setting here if the sun is behind your people, and that does a really good job. All of those great features. Of course, you come in here, you have all your settings. Now in the actual camera mode, in the video mode, you have several different setups. You have full HD, which is 1080p at 30 frames a second. You have 720p at 30 frames a second. You also have a slow motion mode, which is 768 by 512, but it takes it at 120 frames a second. Then you have a sharing setup, which is ideal for posting to Facebook or Google+, or uploading without taking a lot of data. So let's go ahead and head on back to home. So all in all, if you're looking for a great Android-powered camera that gives you all the functionality of a standard camera plus all the functionality and added benefits of any Android-powered smartphone or tablet, then I would definitely recommend the Samsung Galaxy camera. It's not just a camera, it really is a whole new class of device. As they coined it, a smart camera, and it does a fantastic job. Now, of course, with the included apps, you get a lot of the apps we've come to see and expect from Samsung. You have their All-Share Play, which allows you to share content from your camera wirelessly through an enabled All-Share device. Of course, there again, all Android apps are accessible. And 2, you have S-Voice, S-Suggestion, which is really cool. You can actually set this camera up and it will respond to voice commands. So let's say you want to take a family picture. Instead of just using the timer to take the photo, you can set it up to take the photo when you say cheese, which I think is a really cool feature that they've integrated all of these really smart features into a great compact camera that takes absolutely phenomenal pictures. Now on my website, I will have a lot of sample photos showing you just how well the zoom works on this camera. So head on over to igadgetgeek.com and take a look at all those sample photos. Now that has been my full review of the AT&T Samsung Galaxy camera. And this has been Roger with iGadgetGeek.